so excited that she was there. You know, it's not often that the major, mega, A-list, uber movie star comes to the musicals that they originated the roles in the film for. And so we were all, the whole place was buzzing, and you could see her instantly because she's literally a radiant beam of light.
She came and spoke to us after the show for a while and took a moment with each and every one of us.
She went to every single person in the cast and held their, hands and stared at them and said something wonderful. She really took the entire show in.
It was obviously a huge deal for the cast to meet her, and she was lovely. And I think it's an important piece of her history, too.
After running on Broadway for a year, Pretty Woman the musical goes on tour.
This show really transcends language and different cultures. It's so basic, and so it translates beautifully all over the world.
The characters, the story, and the memorable moments are etched in pop culture. And for those who were involved in the film, its lasting impact is inescapable.
I hear Pretty Woman more than any other movie, and I kind of go, another decade, anything a little closer, and I go, oh no, that's the one for me. I sit with my mother, we watch that all the time.
You know what their favorite movie is? Pretty Woman. Everybody wants to talk to you about that movie all the time.
We just brought it up here.
I know.
It does come up. There's probably not a day, wherever I am on the planet.
And you've made peace with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I like the movie too. We had a wonderful time making it.
Tell the cave story. Is it
What's the cave story? I don't know.
Wait, I remember a story. It was the cave. It was a far, far away place.
It was in Papua New Guinea. No, it wasn't. It was in Borneo. They got bones in their ears, bones in the ear. I've taken a missionary flight. I'm in the middle of nowhere. And I get in this boat, and they take me down to the longhouse, and we pull up on shore, and they start with, Pretty Woman, man! Pretty Woman, man! They've never seen a movie in their entire life. They know Pretty Woman.
I'll be telling stories about Pretty Woman far more as the years go by than I will about any of the other movies that he made that I was in.
I was telling my friends that I was coming here today, and they said, where's the interview at? And I said, the Beverly Wilshire, and they all said, Reach Bev Will. I mean, that was a big quote of the movie.
I don't think anyone could have imagined what sort of impact it had, and 30 years on, to still have people coming into the hotel, talking about it, having a dream, having a vision, wanting to learn more, wanting to see more, wanting to experience more. To this day, it's on a lot of people's bucket lists to be able to come over here and visit and stay at the Beverly Wilshire.
Even though the Regent Beverly Wilshire is now just the Beverly Wilshire, the hotel's really embraced the legacy of the film. There's a Pretty Woman experience where you can go and you can sort of live like Vivian, stay in one of their rooms. It's great.
Everywhere I go on the planet, people recognize me from that film. They say, oh my God, you're that guy. You're the guy in the elevator. And sometimes they go, from across the room.
Movies over the last 100 years have shown us the way to be. They've shown us how we want to look, how we want to present ourselves, and they've shown us in a way how to fall in love. And Pretty Woman continued the tradition.
To this day, and we're talking about 30 years since the movie came out, I cannot go to meet a director or a producer or an executive, whoever it is that I'm meeting to talk about doing a new film, without talking about Pretty Woman. It was a gift.
I've had a big career where I've worked a lot and had large roles in on television shows and series, and this is probably one of my most memorable roles. People love this movie. They remember this part.
It's very hard to explain being a small part, yet an integral part of something like that. At the time, it was a small part. And as the years go by, that part's not so small anymore. The whole film has become so big.
It's one of those movies where if it's on TV and I'm flipping the channels and I see it, I have to stop and watch the whole thing. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not changing the channel.
I've been blessed to do some other films that did really well. Hands down, this is the film most people want to talk about.
And
mean, for years it was always Gary Happy Days Marshall, and then it switched to Gary Pretty Woman Marshall. I mean, there was Princess Diaries and Valentine's Day. He had other hits, but there was none that struck a chord like Pretty Woman did. But I think he'd be really happy that Pretty Woman, the movie, is still in people's minds. The success of the movie and the lasting quality of it thrilled him and enabled him to do so much more with his life and his career.
You know, he wanted to just be remembered for bringing laughter and making people happy and laugh and joyous. And I think that's what he did. I think Pretty Woman the musical and Pretty Woman the movie live on today and bring a lot of joy to the world. And that's what he would have wanted to last.
Audrey Hepburn, the persona.